Welcome back to another Top 10s Day Wednesday video. Today's video is part 2 of a 4-part series as we continue ranking the most valuable annual pre-constructed commander decks throughout Magic the Gathering's history. The 10-year anniversary of Wizards of the Coast's first ever Commander product is right around the corner. To celebrate, I think it would be flavorful to review the current expected value of every pre-constructed deck that has been released over this period of time. This list is comprised of the annual Commander decks and not the set Commander decks that were introduced with Zendikar Rising. This list also will not include the Commander 2021 decks. As there are 42 decks that have been released since 2011, splitting this series into 4 separate top 10 videos seems appropriate. The bottom 12 decks already have been discussed, and if you missed them or want to review them, then you can click on the link in the description below. Before we continue, first, a disclaimer. The expected value of these decks were researched at the same time in order to compile the overall list of 42 decks. As this series is going to be spread out over the course of weeks, it is likely that the expected value of these decks will change during this time. These changes may modify the overall rankings of this list, as some decks are separated by mere pennies. Keep that inevitability in mind and think of this list as a snapshot in time of where these decks rank from the standpoint of expected value as compared to the time of viewing this video. Now, let's continue with the next 10 decks. Number 30 on this list is Timeless Wisdom. The 5th and final member from the 2020 class, this Jeskai deck features Gavi Nest Warden as its front-facing commander, in addition to Akeem the Soaring Wind. Bralin, Sky Shark Raider, and Shabraz, the Sky Shark, also are included as partner with commander options. The most valuable card in this deck is Fierce Guardianship at around $38. Akeem offers a token sub-theme in the deck, but the overarching theme is cycling, as nearly 1/3 of the deck has cards that can cycle, in addition to numerous cards that provide benefits when cards are cycled, discarded, and/or drawn. Even the partner-with commanders of Bralin and Shabraz synergize with this cycling strategy. Gavi Nest Warden is a very popular commander option, over 500 spots more popular than the secondary option of Akeem. Perhaps Wizards should have went all in with this cycling theme by replacing Akeem with a more viable secondary option. Number 29 on this list is Counterpunch. Released with the original Commander product from 2011, this Abzan deck features Gave, Guru of Spores, as its front-facing commander, in addition to Carador, Ghost Chieftain, and Teneb the Harvester as other commander options. The most valuable card in this deck is Carador, Ghost Chieftain, at around $17. This is the birthplace of Abzan, baby, as Gave infuses +1/+1 counter, token, and graveyard themes all together on the same card. Carador and Teneb provide cost reduction for creature spells and graveyard recursion, respectively. The supporting cast of creatures, which includes Scavenging Ooze, Golgari Guildmage, and Hornet Queen, enhances this archetype as nearly all of them enforce the +1/+1 counter, token, and/or graveyard themes in one form or another. Gave, the primary commander option for this build, is the most popular commander from this deck as per EDHREC.com. Number 28 on this list is Plunder the Graves. Released in 2015, this Golgari deck features Marin of Clan Nel Toth as its front-facing commander, in addition to Jarad Golgari Lichlord and Mazurk Kral Death Priest as other commander options. The most valuable card in the deck is Pathbreaker Ibex at around $17. The Commander 2015 pre-constructed decks introduced players to experience counters, and Marin of Clan Nel Toth's may be the most powerful. Whenever a creature you control dies, you get an experience counter. At the beginning of your end step, choose target creature in your graveyard. If the card's mana value is less than or equal to the number of experience counters you have, return it to the battlefield. If not, return it to your hand instead. Although Jarad and Mazarek lend to these graveyard synergies, Marin of Clan Nel Toth is the more popular commander option by nearly 150 spots and ranked number 15th overall, according to EDHREC.com. Number 27 on this list is Mirror Mastery. In a return to 2011, this Temur deck features Riku of Two Reflections as its front-facing commander, in addition to Animar, Soul of Elements, and Intet the Dreamer as other commander options. The most valuable card in the deck is Homeward Path at around $15. This deck tries to take advantage of Riku's copying abilities. There are 24 creatures and 23 combined instant and sorcery spells in the 99. The only artifact in the deck that is not a mana rock is Lightning Greaves, which, of course, is needed to protect Riku. As this primary commander option generally is starving for mana, this deck includes 41 lands in order to sate these copying abilities. Riku is not the most popular commander option from this deck, as Animar is more popular by about 30 spots, according to EDHREC.com. Number 26 on this list is Seize Control. Returning to 2015, this Izzet deck features Mizzix of the Magnus as its front-facing commander, in addition to Arjun the Shifting Flame and Melik Izzet's Paragon as other commander options. The most valuable card in the deck is Rite of Replication at around $11. Mizzix is the second commander option on this list to feature experience counters. These experience counters reduce the mana value of instant and sorcery spells you cast by 1 colorless mana for each experience counter you have. You get these experience counters by casting an instant or sorcery spell with a mana value higher than the number of experience counters you already have. Melik strengthens the spell-slinging theme of this deck by allowing you to cast an instant or sorcery spell from the top of your library and copy it when you do so. With 38 combined instant and sorcery spells in the 99, gaining experience counters and copying spells should be easy. Number 25 on this list is Evasive Maneuvers. Released in 2013, this Bant deck features Derevi, Imperial Tactician, as its front-facing commander, in addition to Rune of the Hidden Realm and Rubinia Soulslinger as other commander options. The most valuable card in this deck is Thousand Year Elixir at around $22. Derevi is the focus of this build. She can be put onto the battlefield from the command zone for 1 green, white, and a blue, which is not casting her. This means that Derevi will never be subject to commander attacks if she enters the battlefield with this ability. Furthermore, Derevi is not subject to the timing restrictions of casting creature spells when using this ability. She is not being cast, and therefore can be put onto the battlefield at any time during any player's turn. Coupled with her tap-untap ability, which is triggered when she enters the battlefield, it is unsurprising that Derevi is one of the most popular and powerful commander options in the format. Number 24 on this list is Nature's Vengeance. Released in 2018, this Jund deck features Lord Windgrace as its front-facing commander, in addition to Jiris, Waker of Corpses, and Thantis the Warweaver as other commander options. The most valuable card in this deck is Nesting Dragon at around $16. The 2018 Commander product marked the return of Planeswalkers as commanders, and Lord Windgrace is the most popular choice among these options. With 43 lands included in the 99, this deck's focus on landfall and lands matter themes is intentional because Lord Windgrace's Planeswalker abilities synergize beautifully with lands. By discarding a land card, you draw 2 cards and put 2 loyalty counters on Lord Windgrace. By removing 3 loyalty counters from him, you return 2 lands from your graveyard to the battlefield. With various lands matter cards strewn throughout the 99, Lord Windgrace is the clear-cut and most popular centerpiece of this build. Number 23 on this list is Exquisite Invention. The final entrant from the class of 2018, this Izzet deck features Saheeli the Gifted as its front-facing commander, in addition to Brutaclad, Telchor Engineer, and Tawnos, Urza's Apprentice as other commander options. The most valuable card in this deck is Retrofitter Foundry at around $14. This build offers another Planeswalker commander option in the form of Saheeli the Gifted. It's an Artifacts Matter deck supported by 21 artifact spells. However, it's the token sub-theme driven by Brutaclad that is more popular as per EDHREC.com at the time of researching for this video. Brutaclad is an artifact creature that gives creature tokens you control haste, in addition to creating some combat shenanigans through token generation and mimicry. As an interesting side note, Saheeli the Gifted is the only Planeswalker banned in the Oathbreaker format at the time of this video's completion. Number 22 on this list is Built from Scratch. Released in 2014, this mono-red deck features Duretti's Scrap Savant as its front-facing commander, in addition to Theldon of the Third Path and Bosch Iron Golem as other commander options. The most valuable card in this deck is Ruby Medallion at around $31. This is the third consecutive deck with a Planeswalker as the front-facing commander on this list, and it's our first monocolor entrant as well. This is another Artifacts Matter build, similar to number 23 on this list, Exquisite Invention. Duretti has a rummaging ability that can fill the graveyard with artifact spells and then return an artifact card from the graveyard to the battlefield by sacrificing an artifact. Theldon assists with this synergy by creating artifact copies of creature cards in your graveyard. Bosch acts as another sacrifice outlet for artifacts on a big 6/7 body with trample, in addition to dealing direct damage equal to the mana value of the sacrificed artifact. Number 21 on this list is Eternal Bargain. In a return to 2013, this Esper deck features Oloro, Ageless Ascetic, as its front-facing commander, in addition to Sharum the Hegemon and Sidri Galvanic Genius as other commander options. The most valuable card in this deck is Toxic Deluge at around $18. Oloro has the Eminence mechanic, without being labeled with the Eminence mechanic. As it gathers dust in the command zone, its controller gains 2 life at the beginning of their upkeep. While on the battlefield, Oloro provides life gain and card advantage while slowly draining opponents' life totals. The synergy of this deck is representative of traditional Esper archetypes, such as removal, control, graveyard shenanigans, card drawing, and life draining, all of which is suited very well for the long game. With an overall rank of number 30, Oloro is one of the most popular commander options as per EDHREC.com at the time of researching for this series. That'll do it for this portion of the list. Stay tuned for the next installment in this series, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons on your way out. This is MTG Burgeoning, your channel for celebrating Commander.